going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. No, I'm just a little bit psyched up, man. I'm a little bit pumped up about this. What's up, everybody? Season 20 is still going along. We have the news that patch 2.6.9 PTR begins May 21st. Thank you guys for watching the channel here, Evil Spectrum 3, and I hope you guys subscribe if you're new. Share the video, do all that stuff, whatever you want to do. Hype it up. More, I want to be there for you as far as Diablo goes for more commentary, content, and stuff like that. So, new Demon Hunter sets and new Necromancer sets. You may know about this stuff already, but going over it basically, I'm pretty excited about the PTR. Finally, something else to do. We know there's going to be 2 PTR unique buffs to help you get through the PTR a lot quicker. So we know we're going to have legendary drop rate increased big time, double blood shard drops. You can also buy new gear for testing from the special PTR vendors. So there'll be a special PTR vendor as well. If you didn't know about that, just so you know. And if you guys want to link to the article, it's down below, so you guys can check out the article. Plus a way that you can get on the PTR. If you're somebody that's never tried the PTR before, which it's crazy if you haven't by now, but if you haven't, give it a try. And if you didn't know how to do it, you know, copy your character, all that stuff. It's very, very easy. Trust me, you'll be able to do it. And the notes and the news on that down below on this post. You'll see it in a few minutes. So let me just move past the testing tips and let's get right into the juice, man. Hope you guys are ready for this season. I want to know what you guys think about this seasonal bonus. And also the Demon Hunter and the Necromancer sets. I am a Demon Hunter since 2012 on Diablo, so I'm way more familiar with Demon Hunter than Necromancer, although Necromancer is the third class I spent the third most time playing besides Demon Hunter. So, seasonal theme this year, this season, is going to be similar to the season before last. The Elemental deal that we had, the kill streak trigger that we used to have. The only difference this time is it's going to occur every 2 minutes. So, your character will occasionally, every 2 minutes, it says occasionally, but then it says every 2 minutes, channel an elemental power which unleashes into the environment for a limited time. Meteors rain from the skies around you. You breathe lightning. I don't know what that means. A wall of flame engulfs everything. Release Twister, pure energy. Crush your foes under the weight of rolling snowballs. Here's what I think this means, guys. So a couple last season, not season 20, but season 19, we had the... You know, basically, you wanted to get to that meteor strike, right? Where all those just meteors would rain down. I think that was the 200 kill streak. I think the 200 kill streak was like the best one, if I remember. You know, then there was a couple other ones that were really good too. The tornadoes were decent. You know, but there was a lot of ones that like you kind of didn't care about. You really just wanted to get to that meteor. If you could get to those blasts, those bright meteor blasts, I think it was 200 kill streak. Like, that did a lot of damage. That thing murdered. You know, you could really time stuff around this. So I think with this new seasonal theme, I think they killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Number one, I think they make it harder to sort of plan and, you know, be a little silly with the theme where, you know, you're going to wait to trigger things a certain way. You can really control it. This is going to be more annoying to do that because it's going to be a timed situation. So you won't be able to predict every time, I don't believe, a way to sort of take advantage of this buff in a crazy manner. Maybe some people will, and maybe there'll be a bunch of different scenarios depending on the rift you're in of how you're going to play it. But it will make it a lot more convoluted to do that. So that's number one. Number two is that I believe they realized how awesome the kill streak at 200 was in Season 19, and I don't really remember that anymore, what it was, and all the different triggers that we had in Season 19. But I think that a lot of them were wasted. I think 80% of the triggers were just nothing, and they didn't really matter that much, but there was a couple that were just hugely impactful. In my opinion, I think these are going to be hugely impactful. So I think all of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think they made 5, and I think just about all of these are going to be impactful, thus being more exciting every time they're triggered. But also kind of controlling the way they trigger so you can't just trigger them to sort of ramp it up. So I think that this is, in my opinion, this is a buff that's going to help you if you're pushing in your season. So much like Season 19, I think you're going to be able to push farther in rifts. You're going to be able to do a little bit because you're always going to have this little buff that comes along every 2 minutes that boosts you a little bit. You know, gives you a little extra kill quick, you know. But now it obviously won't help you as much if you're speed running rifts. But I guess it could, because if you're speeding through rifts, if you're at the point where you're speeding through and you're rifting 75s to 85s speed rifts, and you know you're getting through in 2 minutes to 3 minutes, the trigger is going to happen right at the end, towards right when you need it. So you're going to be at that point where you're at 90% to 95% where your bar is filled and you're waiting for the Rift Guardian to spawn. And that 2 minutes is going to hit just about every time around the 90% mark. And also all of a sudden, boom, you're going to, boom, the Rift Guardian appears. And then the Rift Guardian may be killed instantly by one of these effects. I don't know. So it could make the speed runs even faster that way. You know, so it's going to... Because you're going to be like, oh, man, I've been in this rift for a minute and 50 seconds. I'm almost done it, but I'm at 85% now, or I'm at 90%. We're so close. And then, boom, 2 minutes is going to happen, and just instantly the rift is over. So you're going to cut time there. And then, of course, if you're grinding and you're pushing and you're doing all those things, you know what I mean, it's going to help out. You may see the trigger happen 2 to 4 times, depending on what you're doing when you're pushing the rift. So anyway, the bottom line is I love the seasonal theme. I guess it reminds me of Season 19, but maybe with a little bit of a... Almost a patch or something, an upgrade. So we're going to see how it functions. I hope it's as exciting. If it's as exciting, I thought Season 19 was exciting, because it was exciting to hop in the rift and to plow through and to want to hit those kill streaks so you can get that trigger. Now, I'm a little bit worried that because it's automatically every 2 minutes, that will be less hands-on. So you may just kind of take it for granted at some point, and you won't really care what you're killing and what you're doing, because it's just randomly going to go off every 2 minutes. But I suppose maybe if there is a timer visible, I don't know if it's going to be visible or not, you may be staring at the timer waiting. Okay, it's 5 seconds. Okay, it's 5 seconds. But there are signs that look like there's going to be no timer, and you won't know the time. So you would have to time it yourself, which I am not going to do. I'm just going to basically use it as, I'm going to play the season like I would play any other season, but I'm going to know that every 2 minutes there's this sort of event that's going to happen that's going to help me a little bit. So that is a little bit underwhelming because of that. It'd be nice if there was something that you were more hands-on triggering. So I wish that they would add something to the season still, kind of like Double Goblins this season. I wish that maybe they announced on top of it that, hey, 2 weeks into the season, we're going to also be adding something else fun, just so you know. I think that would be wonderful if they did that. But I don't know if they have the time to do something like that right now. But I think the idea of saying, hey, listen, this season is also going to be the season of unexpected gifts. Every 2 weeks this season, you know, something is going to come out that's going to help you with your season or make the season more exciting. So in 2 weeks, they announced Double Goblins. In 4 weeks, they announced Double Bounties. You know, or you know, whatever it is. In 1 week, they announce 1 hour of like double, you know what I mean? Like a couple of times during the week where there's an hour of like double XP or something. Like, I think all those things would really be fun. But anyway, I'm pushing and I'm going off too far with this. So let me move on. I really should have made a second video because this is so much information. It's kind of blowing my head now. Okay. Had to have some water there. All right, so here we are with the new Demon Hunter set. And behind me, we're looking at the little bit of a strafe build right there. It's going to be a strafe build. There's your sort of whirlwind Demon Hunter. So your Demon Hunter is really going to be turning into a Barbarian in a way. But not really, because it's that cool sort of shoot 'em up, twirling, well, Barbarian. It's a whirlwind Demon Hunter. But no, it is what it is. A lot of people wanted traps. A lot of people wanted chakram and some kind of trapping. And, you know, I think that would have been interesting if you could have had a trap set with multi-shot or something like that, or chakram. Or just, like, even multi-shot. Even the idea of getting enemies to be almost frozen and trapped and sucked into this trap and then setting up maybe sentries around it and blasting them, you know, things like that. But anyway, then there was other different versions of that and other versions of other things that people wanted. I think this is a good set. I mean, I think this is a good idea for a set. I don't think it's what exactly everybody wanted, obviously, but I do think it's pretty good. So only time will tell how good this is. It is different. It's not the different people wanted, but it's a different that I think is still passable, that this is a good idea. So I think it's a good idea by Blizzard. I think it's a good build. I think it's possibly a good build, a good idea, the best we could have. I hope for people that in the future we still get a new set, but I mean, how could we even know we were going to get these sets? It's crazy that we're even getting this. We're lucky. So it is what it is. And I'm a demon hunter, and I love multi-shot. Mostly multi-shot is what I play, but I do play every other variation of demon hunter. I like it all, but whatever. So gain a momentum stack when attacking with a primary skill. Each momentum stack lasts 2 seconds at a maximum duration of 10 seconds. So for 10 seconds, you'll have a momentum burst, and then you'll have to restack it. So you'll be over and over again getting a little burst of speed. But it won't stay up, it looks like, too permanently. Your primary skills deal 10% more damage per stack of momentum. So you'll also become more powerful over these stacks. You'll stack up momentum, and momentum stack lasts 2 seconds at a maximum duration of 10 seconds. So you'll be sort of going up and down with these momentum stacks, doing more damage at some times and being faster at other times as well, and then kind of dropping off and then building up and dropping off. So that's interesting. Casting Strafe against enemies will automatically shoot your last used primary skill, primary skill, and also gives 60% damage reduction while strafting and for 5 seconds after. So you get a huge damage reduct, or a decent damage reduct while you're casting and for 5 seconds after. While casting strafe, whatever everybody says, you move faster per stack of momentum. So, while casting, you move faster per the stacks of momentum. So that's another sort of movement thing. So you're going to be really flying around. You know what I mean? So instead of vaulting everywhere to do things, this is really going to be a very... I wonder how fast you'll end up being. Will this be a speed viable build for Demon Hunter? There's already so many. Demon Hunter is already one of the fastest speed builds really there is. Aside from a Monk, and Monk and Crusader have their speed builds, and obviously the Witch Doctor now. So anyway, whatever, I'm babbling on. 6-piece, your primary skills 10,000 more damage. So your primary skills deal 10,000% more damage. So just this massive burst of damage buff. So basically when you come down to it, you're going to be using Strafe, you're going to be Spinorama, and you're going to do 10,000 more damage. Not that crazy of anything, that not insanely inventive. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, going to be using Strafe. I can't remember which way to say it. And you're going to be spinning around. You're going to be doing it's a whirlwind. You're going to be whirlwinding as a Demon Hunter. The Bow of Hasher, 100%. Bolas have 100% chance on explosion. So you may be able to use Bolas in here. The Duffel finally gets a buff. Bolas new explode instantly. Now explode instantly. I'm having like a stroke or something reading words, like the wrong words. The 9th series Satchel, which I keep finding primals of. By the way, I have like 5 primals of this. Still haven't found a Dead Man's Legacy, but I have 5 primals of this. And now they're all stupid because, well, actually, let me see. Hungering Arrow is guaranteed to pierce and also deals 450 to 600% increased damage. So I assume that this would be across the board permanent, even on the ones that I already own. So, I believe, unless I'm wrong, somebody correct me in the chat. Odyssey's End is going to get a big buff there. So, we're going to have to look over what weapons we're really going to be using for this build. Holy Point Shot, Impale throws 2 additional knives and deals 75 to 100% increase. So Holy Point Shot gets a great buff. Hunter's Wrath gets a huge bump up. Primary skills attack 30% faster, and then 150 to 200% increased damage to Hunter's Wrath. So That's a big time, bonus to that. Gears of Dreadlands is the name of the set. I forgot to mention that. So Gears of Dreadlands. Guys, what do you think of that so far? I want to know from the Demon Hunters out there what you guys think about this. We're going to be going over the Necromancer, not to bum people out who are waiting for it. I'm going to be going over Necromancer in a separate video and the Demon Hunter in a separate video. But real quick on the Necromancer, I'm going to run down it super quick and just give you my overview of it since I'm not a Necromancer. Necromancer set's called the Masquerade of Burning Carnival. That is a badass name. Masquerade of Burning Carnival. Kind of sounds more like a witch doctor name, but I guess it can pass as Necromancer. Simulacrums no longer take damage, gains all runes, and its cooldowns refresh you when you die. This is going to be another typical sort of Necromancer build. Unfortunately, I thought maybe they would do something a little bit different. It's going to revolve around corpses and explosions and things like that, and we're going to talk about that later. But Grace of Inarius is the set that got just nerfed way back when. That was the one my wife loved, and it got nerfed and destroyed. But it's going to get buffed up a little bit. 4-piece set, bonus bone armor, grants an additional 3% now damage reduction. And the Pestilence Master Shroud is going to get that Bone Spear buff. But just so, and then there's a whole bunch of other stuff we're going to go over later because the Necromancer I feel like is way more complicated and I want to get to it later. What was nerfed? Crusader, Shields of Fury. This effect may stack up to now 10 times instead of 20. So Crusader gets that little bit of a nerf to try to take it down a little bit from that 150 it was easily going to get to every time. Now should be more around the 140s. You're going to have to really push hard to try to get the Crusader above that now, I believe. Stone of Jordan gets a buff, added power to it. Look at this. Stone of Jordan, each of your elementals' damage bonuses is equal to your highest static elemental bonus to skill. So each of your elementals damage bonus is equal to your highest static elemental bonus to skill. That is interesting. Very interesting. Could be something that the Legacy of Dreams could use. Maybe something Demon Hunters can use. Maybe. I mean, for a while there was a time where I used to use Stone of Jordan experimenting. Because Stone of Jordan is, I think, one of the only rings that drops discipline. So you can add an extra 11 or 10 or something discipline to your Demon Hunter on multi-shot. So that may be something that we can combine with the Legacy of Dreams, I think. So that I'm really looking forward to playing around with the Stone of Jordan and seeing what everybody else comes up with and what I could maybe come up with. But probably what I just hear from you guys. Reaper's Wraps added 2-second internal cooldown to the health globe effect. Mantle of Channeling now works with Necromancer's Siphon Blood. Interesting little thing there. Convention of Elements added a non-static to the wording of the legendary power's description. The functionality is unchanged. So there's no change to Convention of Elements, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. Skill changes Necromancer. Final Service no longer consumes pets. Bone Prison. Simulacrums now benefit from the passive skill. Serration. Simulacrums now benefit from the passive skill. Corpse Explosion damage is increased from 350% to 1,050%. Corpse Explosion getting a huge jump. Unbelievable almost. And that's going to go along with the Pestilence Master Shroud 6-piece set. So obviously, Corpse Lance and Corpse Explosion damage is increased from 1,650% to 3,300%. So obviously that's going to go way up. And of course, Corpse Explosion damage has gone up. So now you see that Corpse Explosion really getting a buff. Similar to what happened a little bit over a year ago with the Demon Hunter when they jolted up Unhallowed Essence. And they kind of did that to all the sets of every character. I would like to see Demon Hunter Unhallowed Essence buffed up a little bit again, just based off all this. I hope they can do something to Unhallowed Essence. But that being said, that's all I got right now. I'll have more for you guys later, breaking down a little bit more of this, getting more involved in it. I'm going to be testing doing the PTR. Love to have your feedback. Love to talk about your feedback. Love to go over the entire community. Talk about what we find out as far as the feedback from the PTR. Guys, what do you think? You're going to be Demon Hunters, you're going to be Whirlwind, and it looks like Necromancers are going to have more fun in the meta again, and they're going to be a little speedier. finally, I think this would be one of the faster Necromancer builds. But you're going to be running around as a Necromancer, finally. Plus, this will help you maybe in the meta, too, so it'll be weird. But you Necromancers out there will have to let me know in the comments down below your details about what you think, and I will talk about it later. And speaking of talking about things, here's some other videos from me you might have missed. I'm Evil Spectrum 3. I hope you share, like, all that crap. And I'm making videos just about daily now on this gaming channel, so please be around. I'll have more, plus my podcast on Diablo. But here's some other videos, including my commentary on what I think about the Diablo II Remastered, Resurrected, and what I think they should do with it, some basic ideas, and then your ideas down below as well. Let's keep talking Diablo here on Evil Spectrum 3.